frankly, we just need to recognize that as a community of practitioners, we're way ahead of our time. There's a lot of people basically catching up. But in fact, new norms happen extremely fast. You know, 20 years ago we were talking about and screaming about the value of data, and how data was king, and how data was going to revolutionize everything. And then like a few seconds later, data scientist commands $100,000. You just change your business card, and all of a sudden that becomes sort of a selling point. No one knows what that is, but the fact that this has become so quickly mainstream is actually quite an interesting change. I mean, in the past couple of years, you have seen a huge, huge, huge sea change in terms of the business value of data and the business that are associated with this. And in fact, this is actually a wonderful time for us to sort of rise up at a certain level, because as these new memes are occurring and as these new interests are becoming absolutely clear, and as people start scratching the surface and sort of saying, gosh, I really don't know what a data scientist is, this is actually when they are in fact turning to the data practitioners and professionals, and in fact libraries, to help basically get a sense of what that really, really means. So, from the past perspective, building on our strengths, I'm talking a little bit here on our future, but we've identified at a certain level in the process of what we do, a couple key things that basically I would tease out from looking at the particular conference, and I want to sort of highlight as we look to the future of libraries and the future of Dublin Core. The application profiles work in particular, I think, is going to be critical for Dublin Core to basically step into. And the linked data patterns that provide consistency across cultural heritage institutions is one that I think we're going to have to be very focused on as well. And we have an opportunity to basically bring together the right stakeholders and really sort of own this space in a way that no other institution has been able to step up to. Now, I'm going to bring us to the present and talk a little bit about why I think that's important. All right. So in the context of the present, I'd like to basically talk about the web. I mean, at a certain level, that's a bit old hat. Again, the web has sort of become so much of a commonplace that sort of talking about how cool it is kind of is boring. I mean, I do remember actually talking to a bunch of fourth graders about something completely different. My PhD work is in geography, so I was talking about maps. And one of the teachers basically found out what I did for a day job, and they sort of said, well, tell us a little bit about that. In which that translated into this, would you like to see our fourth grade webpage? Because that was the big thing that they had just figured out doing. They were really excited about this. And it was cool because they were connecting with their webpage with other fourth graders around the world, and it was a really exciting, they were really proud of it, and they should be. I mean, it was a really cool thing. And then one of these girls basically sort of asked, because the girls seem to actually be more inquisitive at that age than boys. Well, maybe forever. But the point is, one of them sort of said, what did your website look like when you were our age? And, and you were just like, well, after I carved it out of stone. But it is. I'm actually really still excited about the web, and there's, I think, strong reasons why. In part because it basically, it serves a very important purpose. I mean, it is the most successful communication platform ever conceived. It has basically provided ways in which those fourth graders could connect with each other in ways that, us working early on in the standards could have never basically comprehended. But the promise of the web, as it increasingly becomes the most pervasive data management and data integration, the way in which we can basically use it to accelerate scholarly communication and learning, decision-making, educating the communities around us, sharing data in a web environment to address, extraordinarily, huge problems that any one person or any one organization can't do.